G'day Australia, I'm Philip Duncan from WeatherWatchTV on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us for our 7-day Australia-only forecast, and we are tracking more thunderstorms, more showers as we go through the next week, but once again, hit and miss. So good luck. Hope you get the ones that you need. Here is the current situation map, a little bit cooler through the hills and ranges to the east due to the airflow coming off the Tasman Sea, but hot weather here will be pushing in very quickly behind it. So while when we took this map for this afternoon, it shows it's a little bit cooler, I don't think it'll be staying that way because we've got some hot weather really pushing down over the next couple of days in the south. 40 degrees is certainly possible. And that sea breeze that's slightly cooler carries on around Queensland's coastal areas as well. Certainly has been a cooler week right along the coastline. And it doesn't have to take much to go inland, and you're seeing those mid-30s. So let's take a look at the temperatures. We kick off with the over 40 degree maps Thursday and Friday. So you can see it drops down. Adelaide 37 degrees there as we go through into Friday afternoon. So that's 10 degrees hotter than you are today if you're in Adelaide and northwards as well. So that's a burst of hot weather coming through. So let's have a look at rainfall just for the next 3 days ahead. We do have thunderstorms and showers, again, mostly along this eastern side. These maps kind of just blur them out into a prettier picture, but they will be hit and miss. But the highest risk will be in this zone here, and then the further out you go, the lower the risk is. And a similar story up here. Darwin will actually be seeing some downpours arriving after it's been fairly dry in the north lately, but we do see thunderstorms forming for you. So let's get into the forecast. Now, most of the maps I show you here, normally we do it around about lunchtime as the snapshot, lunchtime along the eastern side here. But because of the thunderstorms that are forming, and most of those aren't forming until the end of the day or early evening, these maps are basically showing you sort of late afternoon, early evening over here, and late afternoon if you're on the west coast. So we can see as we go towards the end of Friday, these are the thunderstorms and downpours that are forming. And then over on the east here, another set, mostly around Port Macquarie up to about Grafton. Brisbane itself, not really in the thick of it there. But as I said before, Adelaide, you're up to 37 degrees after 27 today. That red line showing the tropical thickness, the air thickness dropping southwards a long way. So that's the reason why you've got that hot weather coming through for you. Melbourne will be about 33 degrees and Hobart 26. So it is warmer over on that side of Australia. As we go through into Saturday, again, plenty of downpours, thunderstorms, showers popping up into the afternoon. Down the south here, there's a little bit of low pressure, so that will encourage a wee bit more wet weather for you. But on Saturday, Adelaide, you drop back to 22 degrees, so that's quite a big drop from Friday to Saturday. Southerlies or southeasterlies coming off the Southern Ocean for you there on Saturday. Hobart is also down 16 degrees with showers. Canberra warms up 33 degrees for you, and Sydney cloudy 27 degrees as these showers start to form. Mostly dry northwards though, and if I'm not talking about you, it's probably because the weather is not changing. It is going to be the same day after day if I'm not really talking about your area. So let's go through into Sunday. A larger area of low pressure out here in the western side over the deserts. That will encourage downpours, thunderstorms, showers, whatever you want to call them, into some lower areas, even getting down to Kalgoorlie as well. And on the eastern side, isolated downpours. They will be hit and miss for those of you inland, but there is a chance that you might see a few showers coming through, and still very dry. Sorry about that for northern parts of Queensland. You missed out on a lot of those showers last week. There were some good thunderstorms that formed, but not all of them really were that visible, especially north of, say, about Rockhampton. So as we go through next week, it's still like that. It's still pretty dry here on Monday around the place. And temperature-wise on Monday, so Sydney 21 degrees, so you're a little bit cooler again and cloudier for you. But Brisbane, you're up to 30 degrees with a chance of some showers there forming for you as we go through and towards the evening. Thunderstorms especially likely inland towards Charleville and other areas. Dry again though, mostly down here, and Hobart warms up. I didn't say, but 15 degrees on Sunday, so kind of cold for you. Monday you warm up couple of degrees, but nothing too major. So let's move through now into Tuesday's setup. Low pressure that was further out to the west drifts past Alice Springs and sort of comes into Queensland here. So that'll bring in a little bit of instability, but not a huge amount. It's fairly dry on Tuesday around the nation. Adelaide is cooler with 18 degrees, maybe a shower or two coming through for you, but 18 degrees, not overly warm. And Melbourne's only 17 degrees here on Tuesday. And we go through to Wednesday, our final map, and we've got some showers again around here. Canberra, you've got a risk of a shower later on into the day. Your temperature only 19. Brisbane, 21 degrees, so not overly warm for you after where you were on Monday. A little bit cooler as that airflow just basically comes straight off the sea for you. And 31 degrees over in Perth as the as the east to northeast winds kick in for you. That'll lift up your temperatures. So hot and sunny weather coming through for you. And the other one, I want to mention Emerald up here in the north because I didn't talk about you last week. Someone asked. So Wednesday in Emerald up in Queensland, 38 degrees for you. So that is going to be hot, obviously, getting up towards that 40-degree mark in Emerald next week. So that is the forecast around Australia, and also stormy stuff down here. Tasmania will just notice a burst of sort of very spring-like weather coming through for you around the middle of next week. So it's not a great deal of change actually for the eastern side of Australia. So here's the 7-day rainfall outlook. The dark blue at the end here is way up in the tropics, so you don't really have to worry about this part of the key. The area here, light blue up to about orange. So you're sort of seeing in this zone here. Now this is just very, very hit and miss with these isolated thunderstorms and showers, but around Port Macquarie, you've got the chance of 50 to 80 millimetres in that area. And of course, if a local thunderstorm forms over you, then you might have 20, 15 millimetres out here, but that could jump up to 50 just right underneath it. Or if it misses you, you might get 0. So that's the risk with these sorts of this sort of instability. So I just wanted to point that out to you. So we do have some wet weather, mostly dry down here in the wheat belt, and still very dry, completely dry in that zone there for northern parts of Queensland. So that is the honest truth for you. That's our forecast for the next week ahead. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back again tomorrow, Friday, with our usual New Zealand Australia outlook. We'll see you then.